Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today we'll be covering a set of swords used by a powerful demon that he gave to his sons, and no, yeah, kinda, look into that later. But no, today we'll be covering the Swords of Sparda. Just for a quick overview, the Swords of Sparda are a group of blades used by the legendary Dark Knight Sparda and his sons in Devil May Cry. These swords include the Rebellion, the Yamato, the Sparda, the Force Edge, and the Dante. Well, all that said, let's get into it. Alright, leading off, we've got probably what is the most famous sword from the Devil May Cry series. The one used exclusively by the main character Dante, the Rebellion. And while I say used exclusively by Dante, we do know that Sparda used it at some point in the past. Something interesting about the Rebellion is that it, along with the Yamato, were swords within Sparda's collection that were given to Dante and Virgil. The Rebellion has the unique ability to combine human and devil, as seen when Dante gets stabbed in the stomach and the sword awakens his devil trigger by bringing his human half and demon half together. It's unclear, but I imagine that if you were just a regular human or just a regular demon, then stabbing yourself in the gut with the sword would pretty much just earn you a stab wound, and that's it. So, it's best used in the hands of characters like the Sons of Sparda. Something else to note is that the Rebellion did not make its first appearance until, I believe, the second game, because Dante did not use it in the original first game. But that's all on that for now. We'll talk about it more later. Next up, we are going to be talking about the Yamato, used primarily by Virgil, but also used by Dante and Sparda. This sword has the opposite power of the Rebellion. That is to say, the power of segregation, as it can separate man from devil, as seen when Virgil used it on himself in order to separate himself into a human half that was very quickly breaking down, that being V, and a demon half who was, well, it didn't seem like he was breaking down, he was clearly unstable. That would be Urizen. Something else to note is that it seems that the Yamato also has the power to create astral clones of Virgil, as well as create phantom blades, giving it a lot more utility than the Rebellion did. Moving right along. Alright, now next up we have the Force Edge, which there isn't honestly a lot to talk about in this one. It really only appears properly in the first game, and it is, quite frankly, just the sealed form of the Sparda, which, once again, makes it so there's not a lot to talk about here. I'm mostly including it just for completion's sake, and that's pretty much all I got for you. And once the Force Edge is unsealed, you get the Sparda, named after its wielder, the legendary Dark Knight Sparda. This sword is rather unique, as it is classified as one of the strongest blades in the series and is definitely classified as a devil arm. Something I'm likely going to talk about in the future, so look out for the video. But the Sparda is very strong and seemingly can only be used by devils or half-devils, as seen when V was struggling to use the sword, although that could have just been him literally being not physically strong enough to lift the dang thing, because it is a massive sword that can reconfigure itself into multiple different forms, including a kind of a spear as well as a scythe. In addition to that, it can be thrown and just spin for a while it cuts into your enemy before getting called back. There have been several users of this sword, including Sparda himself, Dante, V kinda temporarily, like I said earlier, Trish. There have been a lot of users of this sword. But when it's combined with Dante and the Rebellion, you get the new legendary devil sword, Dante, named after Dante, as this is what happened when Dante used what remained of the Rebellion after the fight with Urizen to fuse himself, Sparda, and Rebellion into a single blade, giving him access to several abilities, including the Phantom Mirage swords that Virgil used with the Yamato. In addition to that, it gave him an evolved Devil Trigger and allowed him to go toe-to-toe with Urizen at full power. It is an incredibly strong sword, and much like the Sparda, it is very big. This is likely the sword that gives Dante the strongest form he's got. And in addition to that, it's also likely that we won't be seeing the Rebellion or the Sparda anytime soon now that he has it. Which, I like the design, so I'm cool with that. But let me know what you guys think. In the meantime, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.